Hello guys, and welcome to the next episode of me. I was about to say episode, I can't remember what episode this is, 37, 38? I'm doing it the next day though, the next day from, actually I think it's 37, and last episode was 36, wasn't it? So welcome to episode 37. I am coming back, like I said, a day after, 36. So that is quite the improvement over the 1 week, 2 week gap that I was having between episode 36 and 35, and 35 and 34. So we're back, and what I wanted to talk about was my mega production chain that I'm about to start. I say mega production chain. It's going to be a very, very small production chain, but the value of it is going to be insane. So I've taken the initiative as a true entrepreneur, and I am massively going to produce plaster. Because I spoke about this in the last episode, just how many seed points I had spare. You can see I've gone down to 9, and I'll talk about why I dropped that by 4 in a second. But I thought I got my 2 expansion points, and I forgot expansion points, the cost for an outpost is only 1. So, Limeton, welcome to Limeton. This is my new outpost. And you might think, what a trash outpost. Like, literally, there is iron ore here, but I don't need any more iron. But if you're desperate for iron and you had loads of expansion points, then yeah, it would actually be worth it. Got some clay, but clay's now sorted itself out. And got copper. So it's actually, I say it's trash. It's not that bad. But what I came here for was this massive limestone deposit. So what I've done is, I've come in, and I've got all my production buildings, all 4 production buildings, working limestone mining. And why? Because the value of plaster, which isn't even very hard to make, all you need is charcoal and limestone. And limestone isn't even that rare, like it's more common than copper ore. Or at least just about as common as copper ore, and copper ore isn't very rare. So you might think, why the hell is it so difficult to get? Well, because, sorry, excuse my little burp there, because I say it's not rare, but actually it kind of is rare. But it's just not, it's one of those things where you don't need it until all the way in the middle of the Iron Age, where we are now. So because of that, you would have made countrysides, like I've got a couple countrysides with limestone on it. You might have outposts with with it on, whatever. But because you've then built up your economy to have all your farms, your cattle farms, all your barley farms, whatever you're growing or getting from your outposts, you have ignored the limestone. And now you're thinking, oh crap, I have to delete my whole farm. So a lot of people don't have it, or just generally don't have the limestone. Like I think I've got a lot of it. That's only because I'm on a mountain range, and actually there is much more of a chance for it to spawn on mountain ranges. So actually, no, I say it's quite common. No, it actually isn't that common. It's pretty rare, but not as rare as something like tin. I'd say it's about, like I said before, about as common as copper ore. And while I've been pretty lucky with copper ore, actually sometimes it can be quite hard to find. So it's quite rare, number one, but also it's one of those things where it can be quite difficult because obviously it's very unlikely you have it on your main regional centres. If you do, amazing, you can just instantly mine it. But if not, you have to spend a whole building to start mining it. And so to set up outposts for that, or to set up countrysides for that, it's quite expensive. So it seems like it's going to be quite a hard thing to get. And then even when you do, like I've got 4 production buildings, and what I want to speak about, my sieve points, I put 2 sieve points, or 4 sieve points technically, into limestone. The reason I've done this is because, remember, the only way you can get limestone is you can't mine it, you have to use an annex. If you know anything about the annexes, when I talk about the stone cutting annexes, or I talk about the mining shaft annexes, is that actually you place them down, and while they produce a lot more for how much, a lot more resources than how much tiles they use, because they only use up 4 tiles, yet they produce a huge amount of resources, they actually never give you the full production. So you can see here, we'd always have like a 60% exploitation of it. But putting the sieve points in gives you 20% more material per annex, and it then makes each annex 20% more efficient, which, because we weren't even using up the maximum efficiency anyway, it means I'm getting double what I was getting per annex. But what I've noticed is now you can see, if we look here, I've got 1 annex per building, and we've got, I've actually just built this one here, so let's drag this one here, so annex tool, drag this one to this one. So there we go. So now we're actually producing limestone here. But we can see that we're actually at 98%. So if I put any more sieve points in limestone, so even though limestone's going to be my limiting factor for the amount of plaster I can make, if I put any more sieve points into it, it's going to mean that actually I get so much efficiency from 1 annex. My building's can actually support 2 annexes. I don't have enough space for the extra annexes, so I'm capping it at just the 2 sieve points in limestone, which I'm happy with. That's made it go from each building producing, I think, 0.6 limestone per building to now 1.4. Because again, I'm getting the double effect. So not just I get more materials, but I actually get more per building as well. So I'm getting 40% more efficiency, 40% more productivity. So it's been a major increase in my limestone. So now with all these buildings, I'm getting 4.7 limestone per tick here. And then in Bing Bong, where I set up my limestone miner, I get another obviously 1.4 there. So all in all, I get about 6.1 limestone per tick, which is, when you think I've got 5 buildings working on it with 2 points in limestone, it's getting 6.1 limestone per tick. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that should be a lot. I had a look, the kiln, it uses 1.5 limestone per 1 plaster. The only thing I don't know is how much plaster 1 kiln makes. I genuinely don't know. One kiln could make the same amount it does charcoal. 1 kiln could make like 8 plaster, and I could, use all my limestone in just that 1 kiln. Or it might be really inefficient, and 1 kiln maybe only makes 0.8 plaster. I'd rather have the latter. You may go, what? Why would you want that? Because, that's going to cost you 10 times the jobs or whatever. Well, you've answered your own question there. It costs me 10 times the jobs. But each building's still going to produce me a massive amount of wealth. Because if we assume, I think the charcoal maker in the kiln produces 18 wealth. If we need to have suddenly 8 new kilns, that's 8 times 18 wealth. So that means New Hope, where I'm going to make all my plaster, is going to shoot up in wealth. We get more people going from unemployed status to the, I can't actually remember what status it is. Is it art? I think it's artisan status for a kiln maker. We get more artisans, which means more people have more money, which means prices go up. It's that same spiral of creating the good paying jobs and creating good wealth. So that would actually be really useful. It also means I'll need to have some another kiln makers to make the charcoal. So it creates a good chunk of new jobs. And actually, we have a look just from here on plaster. It's insane. 190 coins. That is 9,000 coins worth of plaster they want. Here they want 6,000 coins. Here they want 2,000 coins. And these are just the top players. As soon as we start hitting a point where other players are coming on and they will want plaster, their price, obviously the market will be less in demand there and probably more supply because obviously we've serviced it. But there'll still be that demand. And I want to outcompete everybody because not only do I actually think I produce a lot more limestone than most players, and I can even up it if I need to by getting another outpost producing lime, but I'm going to go all my SID points into plaster as well. Because, again, what else do I have to spend them on? Like, I generally have nothing else to do. I'm not going to make any wheat, not going to make any bread, because if you've seen before, the lettuce and chickpea market is just ridiculous. Like, 5 coins they're going to pay, 3.7, 3.5. And I've already maxed out all my countrysides on that. And lettuce, I believe, it's not as bad, but lettuce is still 3 coins. Like, that's huge profits to be made there. So, no more going into wheat. Obviously, there's no point going into bread either. Can't make furniture, can't make clothes, can't make textiles, can't make rugs, so nothing there. So I put all these SID points spare. Not gonna go to any wars. And even if I was, I already produce all my light helmets and padded armor and everything like that. So I can make a decent army of spear pigs. So unless I was gonna literally invest all my SID points in getting bronze shields, cuirasses, heavy helmets, and then to get maybe some swords as well for swordsmen, which I can't be bothered for, I'd have nothing to spend my SID points on. So, going for plaster and making tons and tons of money. Again, I know I've already said that I've got all this money and nothing to spend it on, but at that point, what I'd do is go for score. I'd go for getting loads of academia students. Sorry, loads of academias built, because the academias are really expensive. They are, have a look. They are 20 coins each with 10 administration. So I need way more scribes. For every academia I build, I need way more scribes as well. And they are 10 philosophers. But what my plan is to do is to become like this cultural hub. So even though I'm, small as a solo nation, I'd have so much tech knowledge and so much culture knowledge that I'm this like powerhouse. And my way to do this is to develop New Hope into a megacity, just like Rocktown and Castell, but offset all my Rocktown and Castell jobs to New Hope. The reason is, Castell and Rocktown have extremely high intelligence. The reason I have such a high intelligence is because I've got, loads of goods sold there. Because New Hope's got the best houses almost. It's got level 3 houses and level 2 large houses. So really good houses. But we can see here, intelligence is only 53. Whereas if we look at Rocktown, intelligence is 77. That's a massive increase. In Castell, intelligence 81. Massive increase. And it's all just because we have so many more goods being sold. Whereas in New Hope, only selling, if we look here, like we've only got a couple food types. We've only got some social access. We only got some social access endeavours, but we haven't got any clothing, no furnishings, etc., etc. We actually need water in New Hope. That's a major problem. I ran out of water, I didn't actually have enough wood previously, but now I've bought some wood in. So yeah, what I want to do is offset all my jobs in, let's say, Castell. So all my ironsmithing jobs, all the charcoal making jobs, and all the saw making jobs, that's like 30 or 40 jobs, all offset it to New Hope. Then bring in, what I wanted to do was bring in the academias, because the academias mean we get 20 philosophers. That means we can do loads of those innovation jobs. Remember, the innovation techs aren't giving us anything particularly crazy, but they are at least then, potentially getting us ahead of the game. Because if we have a look, I know I've shown this before, but the the philosophers' research techs are economic innovations, societal innovation, and I think it was social innovation, or I can't remember, but there was some. I'm thinking, wow, if we get them, we get some new techs, it could be really, really useful. And I've got never to spend my money on. If I'm selling huge amounts of plaster, I'm then just using all that profit just to better myself. Looking at it, we've already got 55 limestone here in New Hope, as overnight my limestone miners have been working away and I've been set up an internal buy order. So let's start. We've got these guys here. I've set them to use mud, obviously, because we can produce that ourselves. And then, well, we don't actually, again, wood is in such huge demand. I can at least make some charcoal here. So we'll get that. We'll hire these guys in. And then we'll have a look to see how much they make. Because yeah, 1.5 limestone for every plaster. But I don't know how much plaster the one building will make. Let's buy charcoal. If it's actually going to let me hire some people here, I can get some workers done there. Okay, so here we go. And it's actually the first thing. So one kiln makes 5.6 plaster. So actually one kiln makes more, or uses up more limestone than we can actually use. But uses up a lot of charcoal as well. But actually, so this is, funny enough, okay, so actually my plan has been scuppered because one kiln makes all of our limestone. Obviously that's really good for efficiency, because we can see here that now we can only use 2 jobs to make that huge amount. But obviously it does then mean that the massive amount of jobs I thought I was going to create hasn't happened. So it's good and bad. It means we can save all our jobs for other things, but it does mean that actually we now don't have anything for all of our unemployed workers. But 5.6 plaster, 5.6 charcoal. We produce then enough charcoal here. We produce enough charcoal for this, but then we need more limestone to keep this building running at full efficiency. And that's telling me that we need another outpost for limestone mining. So that's what I'll have to do. I've got one extra expansion point, and I'm obviously not going to build any new hamlets with that. So let's get some more outposts set up. But the plaster, we can see here, 13.8 coins. Really, really expensive. 10 coins for us to buy in. So I think we should get some civ points in it straight away, because the reason I want to get civ points in it straight away is because of 10% less materials. But then actually I am thinking, because it's so efficient, yes, use up 10% less materials, so it's 10% less limestone. Production of limestone gives us 20% more limestone. So I'm actually thinking about going the full, and I know I said about the annexes, they're not being fully utilised, but I'm thinking that actually this gives us so much more, because we're getting this to 20% productivity anyway. So while yes, the annex isn't being fully, the annex is being fully utilised and we're not getting any extra, this just gives us 20% more limestone, whereas this one, it gives us only 10% less limestone. And yes, it gives us 10% less charcoal as well, but charcoal, while I've said that wood is really, really expensive, it's not really a limiting factor. It is the amount of limestone. So, I think what I'll do is I'll go back to Limeton, and I'm going to have a look at how bad it is. Because we do actually have space for one more annex, actually. So, with one more annex available to be built, it is actually more efficient. So, let's have a look with how much more limestone we produced with one extra civ point in it. Okay, so I have actually upped the amount of workers I had, because for some reason this was only at 1 worker. So I now have my 3 workers here. So actually we do produce 5.6 limestone here in Limeton. But we've got, well, maybe we don't. Do we have enough? We do have enough space for one more. Only one more, but that will help us out a lot. So let's have a look how much more limestone we produce here. So these are at 98% efficiency, but I do really want to produce a lot of plaster. And for me, it's more about volume than price. I'd rather be able to produce more plaster at a more expensive, well, not a more expensive price, but more plaster than produce the same amount of plaster just at a cheaper price, because actually I wanted to produce a lot to ship off to people. It's obviously to use first for me to upgrade all my houses, to build all my theatres, but then also to sell on the market. So actually limestone, getting more of it is more important. So let's put a simple in. Let's see what that does. We'll see in a second when it updates. But yes, we can see here we now get an extra 0.2 limestone per building. So really, really minor actually. It's taking us from 5.6 to 6.4, so really not very much. Just because obviously we've now fully utilised this annex. So let's get another limestone quarry. We need some planks and some axes, so let's just buy them in now. Because they're so cheap now, so let's buy in 5 for this price. And then the planks, let's buy in 5 at this price. So we'll get our limestone maker here. So yeah, that isn't as great as I thought. Obviously, again, that's still better than nothing if we think that's gone up by 0.8, which is almost 1 extra plaster per tick. Well, actually, no, it's not, sorry, it's half a plaster per tick, but that still does add up. With the extra annex here, we'll see how good that is. And then we're going to go over to Bing Bong to have a look at if we can get any more annexes in Bing Bong. We can actually see here in Bing Bong, we've got space for 1 more, which is brilliant. Space for 1 more. So let's buy in our planks and our axes so we can get the extra utilization. Again here, we're buying 5, and then we're buying 4 planks. One thing is with the mining shafts is they have to have a 1 tile gap around them. So you can see here, even though we've got this 4x4 space here, we just can't build it because it's like going into that 1 tile gap. But with the stone cutter annexes, they can actually touch each other. There's no gap, so you can actually get a little bit more limestone from them. So that is great. And I did actually delete my clay miner here for that one. So we've got still the 2 woodcutters. Yes, that'll take 11 minutes, and we'll be getting more limestone in. And I'm not sure how much more limestone it is, but hopefully a decent amount. So I think now that is all the limestone we can get, because any more than this, and it's just not going to give us any more efficiency, really. So I think I will put some more points into plaster, because I need to have a think about that, because actually, because it produces so much plaster already from that one building, more than we actually have enough limestone for. Yes, we get the drop in limestone usage, but I'm not sure that that's actually worth it. But I think we'll need another. Outpost for our limestone is what we'll need. But in New Hope, at least, we are now buying in 5.6 limestone per tick. That's right, I'm sorry, 5.6 plaster per tick, which is a huge amount, actually. Like, I say huge amount, it's just all going to take us ages. Like, we need a lot for buildings. We need, like, I think 20 for the theatre or 20 for the library. Some buildings like 50, I believe. We'll have a look, but it's a lot. So that's why it's in such high demand. Not even talking about the houses, like the level 3 houses. Sorry, the level 4 Iron Age houses. Like they're a plaster each. So we need about 1,000 plaster for all of our houses. But then we just need like 100 or 200 plaster for all our production buildings and all our government buildings that we want. So it's a lot. But here in New Hope, we need more water. We need more wells, because actually that is our main problem at the moment. It's just not enough water. Actually get a couple wells in, because not having enough water is really, really frustrating to limit us back. So yeah, there we go. That's 4 new wells in. That should be enough water for the time being. And then we also will need the laundry service as well later on. So that's going to need us more wells as well. We're also laying out some roads here. I want this to look a little bit more neat and tidy. So got this. We've got our kiln worker here. Wood again, it's just a major problem. But we don't know as much we can do. We can just see, like, look how much the demand is for wood. Yeah, really, really terrible. But we'll ask for some anyway. One stock's inferior to 60. Let's buy in for 2.1 coins. Well, actually, I just realised we are making a huge, huge, huge expense for all our Iron Age equipment because all our swords that we're making are all being made with charcoal. That is costing us 2.1 coins per wood. Obviously, we sell the wood to our people for, I think, 0.8 coins. So for every wood, we lose 1.3 coins. And we need, I think, like 2 wood per charcoal or something like that. We're losing a crazy amount of money on all the wood we're spending. And I bet you if I looked at the amount of wood that we spend, the price would be insane. So what I think I'm actually going to do, guys, and it's going to be a big hit to my wealth production, but not that that really means too much. I'm going to probably cut my Iron Age jobs. We don't need any more swords. We've already got like close to 2,000 swords, and we're just losing so much money on all the wood. So we come here. Let's actually have a look. Wood trading for all territories. 29 coins, but that's then also including where we're selling our own wood to ourselves. So yeah, we can see the price of all the wood. Yeah, it's saying it's only minus 29 coins, but let's say in the last day, yeah, 48 coins. In the last hour, 198 coins. We can see every hour we're spending 189 coins on the wood. So you know what? I'm gonna cut it down. So I'm actually gonna say low for all of these. Cause we're also got tons and tons of iron in stock. So you can see I've set all my sales to light helmets, but then actually light helmets is the same, where I'm actually, you know, selling the light helmets and making it from wood that's costing me a fortune, iron that's costing me a fortune. So let's cut that down. Let's cut this down. You can see they're not efficient anyway, because just don't have enough wood. So what I can do instead, maybe just sell the iron ore. So I've already been selling a little bit of iron ore here, but we're going to massively suck up an iron ore. It's actually pretty crazy. But yeah, because it's just costing me an absolute fortune for all of this charcoal. So yeah, we can see here it's 1.33 wood charcoal. So the mud, absolutely fine, but 1.33 wood means we're actually spending probably about, what, 2.6 coins when we actually only sell the wood for like 0.7. So yeah, we're making a massive loss on that. I just don't need it anymore. So let's, yeah, set these all to low. They might still have some workers, in which case it's not a major issue because we've actually got 441 charcoal. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so it's not a major issue because I do need some iron still. But we're going to look how much iron we've got in stock. 695. We've got some charcoal in stock. So yeah, we can turn that all down. Same over here as well, where I've got some being sold. So let's set these all to low. But then actually it's just trying to replace those jobs with others, and I can't think of any to replace them with. Because there really isn't very much for us to do here. Oh, yeah, that's a tricky one. But yeah, we can see we've got over 2,000 swords, because we've got 1,500 in Castel as well. But yeah, trying to think of something we can do. But actually, no. I've answered my own question. We've already tried to answer my own question earlier. We're going to get all the academia jobs. So let's actually start with that now. And what I wanted to do is actually get... So yeah, so these are economic philosophers. You've got societal philosophers, scientific philosophers. So you've actually got 3 passive innovations that you can do at once, which means really, if you want to get the maximum efficiency, you get 3 academias, because you need 10 philosophers for each. So you get your 30 philosophers all constantly doing this tech. But it's a lot of money. It's 34 coins just for the project alone. And then you need to actually have the philosopher's wages calculated. Then you have the 20 coins per building. It's a huge expense. But again, when we've got all this money, like, what else are we going to spend the money on? And unless we're going into a war, we need all the money for a war. Which obviously to win would be a more efficient way, like I've said in the previous episode. But actually, it's not too much of a problem. So I want to spend my money on all my sciences. So we can start, because there's one innovation that we got ages ago that I've never done, which is construction. If we can find it. Here. Construction innovation. 10 architects. And I've never ever built an architect in this game because they're literally never used for anything that I can find. But it's like we got this building back in, like, I think the Stone Age or the very, very early Copper Age. Never been built. It's extremely cheap. You can see it's all just like Copper Age, Stone Age materials. But we need how many is it? It is 2 workers. We need 5 of these buildings to get our 10 architects. But that's then 10 jobs. Again, it's going to be expensive, but that's 10 jobs, and we can get the construction innovation. And again, you're going to hit a point where, let's actually get these here. There we go. There's our 5 architects, and they are quite expensive. You can see because they use, well, quite expensive. They use only like 2 coins per building, so it's only 10 coins there. But the admin hit is going to be a bit nasty, so we might need to get another scribe. But the thing is, you're going to hit a point when you do these innovations, and I've already seen it. Like, I got the plough from my agricultural innovation, and the plough needs steel. This is a steel age tech we just can't use. But again, while we have the chance, we might as well try and get as far ahead in tech as everyone else, because actually, tech is now becoming more and more of a part of my score. You can see knowledge is 2,544, but that's all based on the amount of knowledge you actually have. So we've got thousands of knowledge. So as we get all these new techs, like geometry, 200, catalyst, well, catalyst that is irrelevant, but as you get some of these newer ones, algebra was one I had as well, algebra 400. As you get these, that knowledge just stacks and stacks and stacks. Even if it doesn't give you anything, you can see here allows nothing. The knowledge itself just converts straight to score, so it might push us ahead on score. As you can see on score, we're doing very, very good. Very, very good. In fact, we're still only getting +5, but we are, I think, I think it's still 3rd best. But if we just get that little bit of edge over people by getting all the knowledges, we might actually climb to be one of the best on score on the server as a solo player. That's just to clarify. But yeah, so we'll get these architects down. It'll actually be done in about 40 seconds. So I want to see if they just use, I think they just use clay. But yeah, we'll get them, and then we'll get our construction tech done. Okay, so I've now just discovered something pivotal. So it's very, very strange how this building is unlocked like 2 ages ago. But no wonder it's not used. The architects use only paper. You can see here, paper is the only one they use. And paper should have been unlocked by now, 100%. On my other playthroughs, paper's always unlocked like mid to late Bronze Age, and we're now approaching the middle of the Iron Age, and I haven't got the paper tech, and I haven't seen any paper actually being sold, so I don't know why there's no paper. But yeah, that's why we can't use these architects, because they need paper. So we'll have to hold up on them for the moment, and that is a shame, because that then, you know, cost us all these 10 coins, but again, 10 coins is very, very trivial compared to my budget balance. So we'll hold off on them for now, but I'm actually assuming the philosophers also use paper, not clay. So actually, my whole plan of getting all these philosophers might have to hold back for a little bit. But that's not a problem. What's it called? The plaster can be used for a lot of other buildings as well, such as like upgraded scribes, upgraded tax collectors. We can make what else? Obviously, our upgraded houses if we want to the level 3 large houses. We can make theatres out with plaster. So there's a lot of other buildings we can use the plaster for if we can't make the academics or use the academics straight away. But yeah, guys, that is my plan. You've seen what I'm doing with the plaster. You've heard my plan for when also all this is full again. What's it full on? We're not actually reducing any stone. I'm not actually sure. Let's just delete more of this stone. We can see a lot of mud actually. A lot of mud's coming through. So let's sell recurring order when stops is superior to 120. Let's sell 10 for 1 coin. There we go. So that's some mud being sold. And then I think I'll just have to delete. Well, actually, no, I can just store more. I can get another warehouse or 2 set up because actually we've got so many spare jobs. So I'll set these to high and we'll get some warehouses just to store all our stock. But yeah, guys, so that is going to be the end of this episode because I've still got my plans. I've done a little bit more with the limestone, trying to get some more limestone in. And there's not much more we can really do. We just have to wait for the plaster to be made. We're already making now a decent little bit of plaster. And I think the first thing I want to do is get those theatres made because I actually want to get the theatre one here. We can see this gives us 3 state culture. And then because it also gives us an extra level to our entertainment access, we're going to get a whole nother bit of life quality bonus as well. So it will really, really help us out. But yeah, so guys, I'm going to end the episode there. Thanks a lot for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you're not subscribed to the series and we're on episode 37 or whatever, then oh my goodness, what are you doing? But thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.